This video is for those who are interested in getting dividends, and that is why I want to shoot this video to show you guys 10 Nigerian stocks that will give you good dividends. We'll look at the yield together so that you can choose the actual one you want to invest in, and by the time you choose it, you'll be able to determine how many percent you're going to get. And now that the market is actually kind of bearish, even though we've seen a sharp recovery, I think some of these shares are still selling lower. That means your dividend yield will be very, very high based on projection. And by the time you follow my teachings here, you'll be able to look maybe out of the 10, you'll be able to pick maybe 5. I'll advise you pick like 3, and you just load your bag and earn good dividends. So one of the stocks I want to talk about is Access Bank, as you can see on your screen. Access Bank is currently trading for 22.45. So if you can get it at 22, I think is going to be okay. It's going to make sense because you will be making good dividends also and price appreciation. So if you look at the chart, and you will see you are currently buying at the pullback. You're not buying at the top, you're buying at the pullback. So any recovery as announcement is being made, you will see investors actually rushing to key into this. We saw what happened when UBA posted their 3 naira dividends. You saw all the banking stock rally before some profit takers actually descend on some of these stocks. So the first one is Access Bank, and Access Bank actually paid 1 naira 80 kobo last year. So our projection is that Access Bank will actually pay 2 naira, and I think with UBA paying 3 naira, Access should be restless right now because they want to meet up. So let's quickly check some details about Access Bank here. So this is Access Bank. So this is Access Bank, and they actually declare an interim dividends of 45 kobo. And as you can see, they declared this ex-dividend date was October, and then the payment was done October 17. And a lot of people have even forgotten that they've received interim dividends. So let's do some calculation. If the price is currently 22.45 and the dividend yield is actually 2, that's our projected dividend yield, is actually 2. So we'll come to this place, which is calculator, then we'll say 22.45. No, that's not what we'll do. So we'll do 2 divided by 22.45. So we'll get our answer to be this. Then we'll say multiply by 100, so that we'll get the percentage. So you'll be getting 8.9% dividends. That is, if you are putting 5 million naira into Access, apart from price appreciation, you will be getting, let's do minus 8.9%. So this is what you'll be getting. So we'll now say minus 5 million. Just want you to understand. So this is 5 million. So you'll be getting 445,000 for your dividends aside price appreciation. So let's just assume that you're able to get the price at 22, able to buy at 22. So we'll do it like this, we'll come like this, then we'll say multiply by 100. So this will give us 9%, almost 9.1%. So that is Access for you. And if they want to catch up with UBA and they decide to pay, let's say 2 naira 50 kobo, maybe they don't have the capacity to do what UBA did, and you bought at 20, so that will give us this. Then if you multiply by 100, you'll be making 11.36%. If you are a good investor, you understand that some of these percentage are very, very difficult to get. These are what some people get for a year. And if you are getting it at this current stage, which will not take you a month, so you're able to get this in a month, I think is a good business for those who are interested in making some cool money trading dividends stock. So the next one I want to show us is Jitco. So this is JITCO, Guaranteed Trust Holding Company. So because of the announcement of UBA, JITCO actually had a little push because it was formerly trading between 58, 59. And when UBA announced their 3 Naira dividends, that is full year 5 Naira. So that is to say UBA is supposed to be selling for 50 Naira. That actually made some of this price to skyrocket. So let's look at the dividends they've been paying. So let's see JITCO Holdings here. Let's open it on another page. So this is JITCO. So JITCO actually did 1 Naira interim. Yes, let me look at it. Okay, they declare 1 Naira, and previously, okay, they declare 1 Naira, which is interim. These are interim dividends. So the interim dividends was actually 1 Naira per share. Was what JITCO paid last year. You can see payment date was actually 7th of October. That was when they paid their interim dividend. So let's look at the price. Currently is selling for 62.85. So 62.85. So last year they actually paid 4 Naira. So we are expecting 4 Naira 50 or 5 Naira, because UBA cannot pay 5 Naira and you guys will not want to pay 5 Naira. I'm talking about JITCO. So we should be expecting 4 Naira 50 kobo. We should be expecting 4 Naira 50 kobo. That's the projection I'm giving JITCO, and possibly 5 Naira. So let's jump to our calculation. So if we have, let's say they are paying 4 Naira 50 kobo, which must be above, not must, but normally for you to be a good stock, it must be above your previous payment. So JITCO selling for this, and we are dividing it by the price. So when you come to this, we'll now multiply by 100. So you see, you'll be getting 7%. But you see, Adibin, you actually load it below 60. So let's just work with, 4 point. Okay, let's work with 5. Let's assume they pay 5 Naira, because my projection is actually 4.5 because they paid 4. But because of what UBA did, they might decide to pay 5 Naira. So let's work with 5 Naira. So if they pay 5 Naira and you're able to buy at 60, maybe price pullback and you're able to buy it at 60, so we'll be having 8, and if you multiply by 100, you'll be going home with 8.33% yield. So what I'm showing you is take note of the yield and take note of the price, so that you determine which of them you actually want to buy and how you can go in. So for those of you who are just joining, this is just the number 2 stock. We are talking about 10 dividend stocks to actually load in your portfolio. So the next one on our list is actually Stanbic. So this is Stanbic IBTC. So Stanbic is currently selling for 62 Naira, almost same price with that of JITCO. So this is the price, and you see this will make you to be able to kind of monitor what they are doing. Don't forget that this same stock came down to 58, 59. So Adibin, you are actually I have done this video a while ago. You should have entered when you witnessed this dip. So now that you've seen this video, any other dip that you see before this company start to announce their dividends in April, or before this month runs out, you should be in good profit, either in price appreciation or in dividends payment. So let's look at Stanbic. Stanbic actually paid 2.2 Naira 50 kobo last year, and if we look at Stanbic in this website, let's see if we'll see Stanbic. Okay, this is Stanbic IBTC. So let's check. They have an interim of 2 Naira, and the total of what they paid was actually 2 Naira 50 kobo. So they actually paid 2 Naira 50 kobo. So this is it. They paid 2 Naira as interim dividend. So now if they actually paid 2 Naira 50 kobo last year, so I'm expecting them to pay 3 Naira 50 kobo this year. So let's jump back to our calculation and said if they are paying 3 Naira 50 kobo as projected, we divide it by 62, which is the current price. we are getting 0.05. So if we give it, convert it to 100%, a dividend yield will be 5.6%. So that is what you'll be getting if you are taking position in Stanbic IBTC. So the next one I want to bring to you is one that I myself will encourage you to take position in the stock, but I just want to give you various companies so that you can choose from them. So let's look at Zenith. Zenith is the number 4 company that I want you to see how their dividend yield are. So this is the dividend yield. So this is the current price. The current price is 49.45 kobo. That's 49 naira 45 kobo. And don't forget that these stocks actually pull back to 46, and you can see where it's coming from. So if you have had that plan to actually take position in this dividend stock, you should be in this stock as early as possible. So let's do some brief analysis. Zenith Bank actually paid 4 naira 50 kobo last year. We are not expecting much. We still expect them to pay same amount, but from what UB has done, I think Zenith should be able to pay 5 naira also. As a result of that, we are going to work with the 5 naira. So let's jump straight to our calculator. So we'll come here and say 5 naira divided by 49.45. I think that is what we saw. Let's confirm. Great. 49.45. So this gives us, take this, so it's equals to this. So great. So if we multiply this by 100, we are getting 10% return. So 10% return means that if you throw in 10 million naira, you come out with a profit of 1 million naira. But if you buy cheaper, let's say you actually bought when it was selling for 44, so that will be 5 divided by 44, and that will give us this, and we'll multiply by 100, and we'll be looking at making a 11.36% on our returns. So that is a good one for Zenith. So let's jump into the next stock that I want to show you, which is AICO. I know you all know AICO. AICO has been one penny stock that has done well in last year's stroke this year. So this is AICO, and you see, even based on price, you are getting in at a good time based on the chart right now. But let's look at the dividend yield based on what they paid. They paid 5 kobo last year, so I'm expecting them to actually pay 7 kobo this year. So if they pay that, I think we should get around 5 or 4%. But let's jump to our calculator and let's look at the price so we know what we are doing. 1 naira 58. So we'll come here, we clean this, then we say we are expecting 0.07. That is what we are expecting, divided by 1 naira 58 kobo. So with that, we are getting a 4% returns. So you are getting 4.43% returns on your investment if you are investing in AICO. So these are the 5 dividend stocks that I think you should consider based on the returns that I've shown you, based on the current price. So you know when the price is lower, the dividends will go higher. So that is how it works. So if you've watched to this point, let me just remind you to kindly subscribe. So if you've watched to this point, let me just remind you that you should kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so that you get notified anytime I post videos like this. So I'm very, very sure you've done that. Share it to other groups so that we all will make this money together. So let's jump straight into the number 6 stock that I want to show you their dividend yield. So we are looking at Custodian. This Custodian. So one beautiful thing about Custodian, we are actually waiting for a bonus announcement, just like what happened with Africa Prudential. But it is not a certainty, but we just think that since UCAP did a bonus and Africa Prudential also did bonus also, we are still waiting for Custodian to do the same. Any which way, we are still looking at the price right now, and the price has actually done well. In my Wealth Circle community, we actually made 50% from this particular stock. So if you look at the current price right now, And this company has actually paid 80 kobo last year. So for this year, we are expecting 1 naira 50. That is what we are expecting. And today the price is 20.90. This same company yesterday was selling for 19.90. So if we are to use that, you see that the dividend yield is going to shoot up. So let's jump straight into our calculator and see how many percent custodian will actually give us. So move here, we clear this, and we say custodian is last year paid 80, and now we are expecting them to pay 1 naira 50 kobo. So we divide it by the current price of 20.90. So we'll come here and we'll say what we are getting is actually 7, which will be 7%. So we'll come here, what we are getting is 7.17%. So if you're able to get it at that price which I told you guys that it was selling, that will be divided by 19.90. So that was what it was selling for. So you see, we still have around 7, but slightly it increased. So we have 7.5%. So that is for custodian. So one good one that, guys, I think you should go and load this one, because the dividend yield is going to be mouth watering, and I'm not sure if the industry will actually expect this, but it's going to be huge. Let me show you guys. So that is Mazard. Mazard Insurance. We talked about Aiko. So let's look at Mazard. So Mazard has been ranging and also had a little dip here, and we saw the pullback that companies have been experiencing, and now we're just seeing green. So Mazard is actually selling for 9 naira, and the last dividend yield was actually 60 kobo. So what we are expecting for this year, we are expecting 1 naira. So let's jump to our calculator and see how much we are going to be getting in terms of dividend yield. So let's jump here and we clear up this. Then we quickly come to this place and said we are expecting 1 naira divided by 9, which is the current price, and that gives us 11%. So guys, Mazard is giving us 11%, 11.11%. Isn't that amazing? So if 1 naira dividend is going to give us this, I think we should consider Access Bank, and or we should consider Access Bank and Zenith, and we'll consider Mazard. But I still have 3 more to go. So let's jump to NIM. NIM Insurance is another one to look out for. So this is NIM Insurance, and NIM has actually received some hits as a result of the bearish momentum that we've seen in the market. For now, we've started seeing some reversal, so to speak. Some stock has started bouncing, but that of NIM is actually still getting a little bit of hit more. So for the last dividends, NIM actually paid 50 kobo. So we are not expecting much. We're actually expecting 80 kobo, but the surprise will not be out of hand, because if they paid 1 naira, that will also be a good one. And let's quickly jump to our calculator and look at NIM that is selling for 2020. That is 12.20. We look at 0.80, which is the dividends we are expecting, and we divide it by 12.20, and that gives us 6%. So we'll be expecting 6% from NIM Insurance. That is 6.6. So let's quickly jump to another one, which is in the oil sector. So let's look at Aradel. So Aradel is currently selling for 505. You can see this stock has actually pulled back, and this area is always a support area. This stock has gotten to 850 before, pulling back to 505. So for last year, they paid 20 naira. We are also expecting them to pay 20 naira, but I think they should be able to pay 30 naira. But let's work with 20 naira, and 30 naira will be a surprise. So let's come to this place, and let's say 20 naira divided by 505. 505, and we have 3%. Then we multiply it by 100, and what we have is 3.96%. So if we assume that they are going to pay that amount I mentioned, which is 35, I will divide it by current price. We have these, then multiply by 100, we'll be getting 6.9, almost 7%. But that is still low, but it's still okay if you have a huge unit. And if the price continues to drop, the dividend yield will continue to go up. So I'm very, very sure, as I'm showing you all this, you've seen the ones that you actually take position in to make cool money. So let's jump to Total, which is the last one on my list. So you see, I gave you some unique combination. I gave you banking, I gave you insurance, and I gave you financial services, and I gave you oil and gas. So I don't want to mention companies that have already dropped their dividends. So that is why I'm just giving you the ones that you can actually take position before they announce. So Total is selling for 637 naira, and last year they paid 25 naira, and this year we are expecting them to pay 35 naira. So they might even do 40. So let's just look at the price sharply. 637. So let's come to this place. We are expecting them to actually pay 35 this year, divided by 637, and that gives you 5%. So that gives you 5.49%. So guys, that is what I want to bring to your notice. So these are 10 stocks that are giving you good yield for your investment. So if you want to pick two, I think you should go for Mazad, and I think you should go for Zenith. So these are the two companies that will actually give you good reward based on dividends return. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to actually learn all this stuff, because you see, investing is a journey, and the destination is you getting a huge portfolio that will settle you and your family. So that is why we invest every day, and I keep myself abreast to the latest happening so that I can come here and give you latest information to keep us ahead, to give you an edge in the market. And I've designed this channel to actually bring out the investor in you so that you can make wise decisions. So thank you once more for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that we get notified anytime I post enriching videos like this. Until I come your way again, keep growing wealth without tears, and keep protecting your profit. I love you all, my friends. Bye.